When you walk into a space or a room in your home that is covered with stuff, what goes through your mind? Does it feel overwhelming? Does it make you feel like you're a bad person in some way, like maybe you're lazy or messy? Do you feel unmotivated to get the space decluttered? Well, I'm here to tell you that it is totally normal to not have any motivation, especially when you have a space that is full of stuff and you're really overwhelmed. Well, today I'm going to show you how I deal with overwhelming spaces and how to start decluttering it so that when you walk into the space, you feel more calm, and I think you'll be able to enjoy your space just a little bit more. So our basement office here is in the deepest, darkest spot of our house. It's back in a corner, and it's a place that I just completely avoid. I skip it when I'm cleaning because I don't know what to do with all the stuff. This is actually my husband's home office, and he has given me permission to go ahead and declutter. I know that it drives him crazy too, and he feels overwhelmed, but he's also really busy, and so I am gonna go ahead and get it decluttered today. So the very first thing I wanna do is think about, why do I wanna declutter this space? Is it hard to work in here? Is it hard to find things? Does it cause stress and anxiety? Well, yes, yes, and yes. So over the years, I've noticed that I have started to prefer having less and less stuff. That is part of the reason why I am on this journey to my version of minimalism. So I have less stuff to manage and less stuff taking up my brain space, because your stuff is taking up your brain space whether you realize it or not. So my main why is for less stress and anxiety when I walk into this room. I want to be able to find stuff. I want to be able to clean it. And your version of decluttered is probably very different than mine, and that is totally okay. We are all different. We all have our own version of how we want things to run and work. I've just noticed that when I declutter and get rid of more and more stuff, and I have less and less stuff, then I feel more motivated to get it cleaned and just keep it functioning well. So you don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need to compare yourself to me or any of the other people that you see on YouTube, because I know there's tons of decluttering videos, which I actually love. I love watching them, so I hope that you do too. But I want you to do what feels best for you and how you can be able to achieve your goals. All right, so I'm gonna go through some of the things that I do in order to declutter a space that is overwhelming. The very first thing I wanna do is I'm just gonna set a 5-minute timer. What I find is that when I start with just a small amount of time, it gives me more motivation to keep going. I usually don't wanna stop. After 5 minutes, I'm thinking, okay, that felt really good, and I wanna keep going. Sometimes that 5 minutes is all that I can do for the day, and that's totally okay. 5 minutes is better than nothing. You can even start with just 2 minutes if you want to do that. So I prefer to work on one space and get it done from start to finish. That doesn't mean that I do it all at once. That means that, like I said, I just do 5 minutes, maybe later in the day I do another 5 minutes. Maybe I'm doing it for an hour because it's feeling really good and I'm really enjoying it. But when I keep doing it over and over and over again, it's building a habit for me, and it's becoming a lot easier. And once that space is done, I just have this weight lifted off my shoulder and I feel so much better. It helps me have more motivation to do other spaces in my house as well. It is so freeing to me to walk into a space that feels calm and not chaotic. So sometimes I have a hard time focusing on the decluttering. I sometimes get distracted with like pictures or books or things like that I haven't seen in a long time, and I start to kind of reminisce. And I also want to organize the space as well. So I have to just think, okay, I'm gonna try not to organize this space. That time is gonna come a little bit later. But I have fallen into the trap a lot of wanting to organize, so I'll go and I'll buy bins and baskets and bring them home and think that it's going to solve my problem, because then I'll be organized and it's gonna be amazing. When in reality, it's just kind of shuffling things around. I still know in my brain that there's too much in there. It's not gonna stay organized because things get crammed into these baskets and bins. And I know that it's gonna take me more time and energy down the road. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love organizing. I love it. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I love to organize. But I just find it so much easier when I have less stuff. So you might be dealing with cluttered, overwhelmed spaces all over your home. Well, I kind of have the same problem. That's why I'm trying to work on this minimalism journey, but I have to just kind of push those things out of my mind. I know that someday I'm gonna get to it. It may not be as soon as I want, but that's okay. I just need to remember that this is a process and it might take a while. So today I decided to start on my office, which might be too big of a space for you to start, and that is totally okay. But if you're wanting to start in the office, maybe just pick one little shelf or the desktop or something like that to get started. I just want to give you a quick reminder that you don't need to clean or organize as you go. As you can see, this desk is really dirty. I'm taking the pens and the coins and putting those away. So I like to start with like items. There's tons of paper in here, all over the floor, all over the desk, it's everywhere. And so I'm just gonna start by picking up all the paper and I'm gonna put it in this basket that I have right here. So I'm not gonna go through each paper as I grab it, but I'm just gonna, like I said, pile it all up, put it in the basket, and maybe that's gonna take me my 5 minutes. And then maybe the next time that I have 5 minutes, I wanna go through the papers. I bet you 90% of them are garbage. And so it's gonna be hard for me just like to grab a paper, look at it and be like, oh, this is garbage. That's gonna take me a lot more time. So that's why I'm gonna just make a pile. If you'd like to see how I deal with paper clutter, please click subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out next week. So I found this bin. It's one of those like under the bed storage bins. I'm gonna use this as a donate bin because I know there's a bunch of stuff in here that I can donate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in here that I know I wanna donate. So this is a good example of something I'm definitely gonna get rid of. This was from college. I'm in my 40s. So this is a good, 20 years old? I know that I'm probably not gonna look at this again. So it is time for this book to go. Okay, so I'm feeling really good, so I want to keep going. I'm just going to kind of show you guys some of the things that I'm going to clean off. I'm going to clean off this filing cabinet and the desk. Honestly, I don't know where a lot of the stuff is going to go yet because we don't have an organized system. I might just put a bunch of stuff in a bag, ask my husband if he still thinks he needs those items or if I can get rid of them. There are a lot of things that I know I'll be able to get rid of, and so I'll just go ahead and do that. So a tip that I would give you is when your timer is up, if you want to keep going, great, keep going. I would highly recommend that you give yourself a reward of some sort. Sometimes my reward is to go lay on my bed for 10 minutes and just kind of enjoy the quiet. I know that this can be hard with children at home, so you're gonna have to find what works for you. It could be that you want to spend 10 minutes coloring with your children or maybe baking a treat with them. It could be cozying up on the couch and reading a good book. It could be grabbing your phone and scrolling through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you like to do. Just like I set a timer for the decluttering process, I need to set myself a timer for my reward as well. You get to decide how long you want that reward to be, but I like to keep it somewhat short. So 15 minutes, 30 minutes max. Otherwise, what I end up doing is either falling asleep or I just kind of get sucked into my phone. I guess sometimes I do need the nap, and I guess that's okay. I have to just get rid of the guilt and be okay with having a nap sometimes. So once the timer is up for my reward, I like to get back up and either do a daily chore that needs to be done, like the laundry or the dishes or vacuuming or something like that, just because I know that I still have to keep up on all the other things in my house. I sometimes fall into the trap of decluttering all day and then realizing that, oh no, the rest of my house has become a disaster and I still have to go clean that up. And then by that point, I'm feeling exhausted and overwhelmed with the mess. So sometimes I need to set myself a time limit of how long I'm gonna declutter the space. It could be like, I'm gonna declutter from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. However long you wanna do it. Like I said, you could just do 5 minutes a day. But if I wanted to do the 5 minutes at 12 and take a break and do another 5 minutes at 1, in between there doing the daily chores, then by 3, I know, okay, I need to stop for today and I'm gonna get caught up on the daily chores so that I don't become overwhelmed with all the clutter and the mess that needs to be cleaned up. So I spent about 30 minutes total down here today, which is awesome. It was a great start, but I'm feeling under the weather. Actually, 3 of the 4 of my kids are homesick today. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a rest for like 30 minutes or so. And if I'm still feeling sick, then I'll probably just keep resting. But if I have a little more energy, I'm gonna get up and go ahead and do the dishes that are starting to pile up today. If you need some great ideas on how to speed clean your home, check out this video where I share 5 tips on how to speed clean your home. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.